Dear friends, today we are going to discuss the most important part of the accountancy, which is classification of accounts. Now, this is the most important part. Real account will be start from here. Definitions are important, but how to use that definitions and where to use that definitions. For that purpose, we must know the classification of accounts. Now, here one chart is in front of you in which there are mainly two types of accounts, personal accounts and impersonal accounts. Now, first of all, we discuss about the personal accounts. What is mean by personal accounts and what are the types of personal accounts? Personal accounts. Now, this account represents a person and group of person with whom business deals. A naturally born persons will covered under this category. Also, those persons who have created by the law is also covered under this account. And third category is representative person. Now, first of all, you must know what is personal account, where a person or group of persons to whom a business deals all should be covered in personal accounts. Mainly, there are three types of personal accounts which are shown in the chart, that is, a natural personal account, artificial personal account, and representative personal account. Now, each thing we study in detail so that you can understand this concept properly. All these concepts now are very important for accounting purpose. The first is a natural person's account. Now, what is natural persons? Natural persons means a person who has individual human beings. Means those persons who naturally born and to whom we give different names, in which ladies and gents are bifurcations there. Any person born, we give him or her a name like Sita, Gita, Babita, Talita, Keshav, Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, Ramdas, etc., etc., and etc. So, whatever name we have given to that person should be called as a natural person. Means who naturally born, who are human beings, that should be called as natural personal persons account. For these natural persons, we have to prepare different accounts of their respective name. Now, the second important thing, which is called as artificial person. Artificial person means a person which includes organization, associations, and most important sentence here is created by law. Means those persons who have created by law, they are not naturally born, but they have given such a right which a normally person should be got. Like a normally person who opens an account in bank, this artificial person can also open an account in a bank in its own name. A natural person can give salary to their employees. In the same way, these artificial persons also can give salary to their employees. So these are called artificial persons. Means whatever things a natural person can do, the same things will be done by the artificial persons. Of course, there are some exceptions. Now, in that artificial persons, different names which are given by the trader to his shop are covered in this artificial persons definition. Like Bank of Maharashtra, any clubhouse, like Rotary Club, Lions Club, the name is given here. Different types of companies, Tata Company, Birla Company, Godrej Company, Reliance Company, all these things should be covered under these artificial persons because they are not natural persons but they are created by the law. And therefore, such person should be called as artificial person. The third important thing is representative personal account. In personal account, the third important thing is representative personal account. Now here the word is there, representative, means who represent to others. So here definition is given. These accounts represent a certain person or group of person in business dealings. What happens is that suppose there are large number of customers who purchase goods from business on credit basis. Now, if we going to write the name of all these persons, large number of pages will required for this. And it is not suitable for the accounting to describe all these things into books of accounts. And therefore, one particular name will be given so that it is easy to understand that these are the persons which are taken goods on credit basis, but they are given a particular name like sundry debtors. Means sundry debtors represent to those customers who are taking goods on credit basis. But to write the name of each and every person is not suitable, and therefore for a group of such persons a one particular name is given, that is called sundry debtors. In the same way, different expenses are made by the businessman during the year, but some expenses we paid in future. जसे काही एम्प्लॉई आहेत आणि त्या एम्प्लॉईची आपल्याला सॅलरी द्यायची आहे. मग सॅलरी देताना पूर्ण महिनाभर काम झाल्यानंतर आपण या महिन्याची सॅलरी पुढच्या महिन्यात देतो. मग अशा वेळेस बिझनेसचं इयर एंडिंग जे असतं ते संपून जातं. 31 मार्चला बिझनेस इयर एंडिंग संपतं. पण 31 मार्चला होणारे पेमेंट आपण एप्रिलला देणार आहोत. आणि त्या अकाउंटिंगच्या कॅल्क्युलेशन्स हे फक्त त्या अकाउंटिंग इयरमध्येच दाखवलं जातं. मग एप्रिलमध्ये जरी पैसे दिलेले असतील तरी ते पैसे हे मार्चशी रिलेटेड आहेत आणि म्हणून त्या सगळ्या कर्मचाऱ्यांचं नाव लिहिणं हे काही सुटेबल नाही. मग त्या कर्मचाऱ्यांच्या नावाच्या ऐवजी तिथे एक सिंपल हेडिंग येतं, त्याला म्हणतात आउटस्टँडिंग सॅलरी. मग या आउटस्टँडिंग सॅलरीमध्ये सगळ्या पर्सन्सची नावं न घेता एकाच हेडिंग खाली ते दाखवले जातात. Like suppose there are different shares of Reliance company. Petroleum shares, equity fund shares, mutual fund, debentures are there, but they whole are covered under a one roof that is called Reliance shares. In the same way, to show the different person's name, it is unsuitable in accounting year and therefore it is shown on one particular head, and that particular head should be recorded on different name like outstanding rent, income received in advance account. Means the word outstanding, advance, prepaid, these names whenever came, then you must realize that these are the representative persons. Means they are a represent to certain person or group of persons. So they are also covered under this heading. So in personal accounts, mainly there are three persons: natural person, artificial person, and representative person. Natural persons means who are naturally born by the nature. Artificial persons means who are created by the law, and representative persons means who represent a certain person or group of persons. So all these categories came under the head personal accounts. So if some examples I ask you and say that bifurcate them in natural person, artificial person and representative persons, then you must bifurcate each and everything properly. Like Bank of India, then you must say that Bank of India is an artificial person because it is created by law. Suppose I say second name Rahul account, then Rahul is a natural person, therefore it is covered under the head natural persons account. Outstanding salary, outstanding insurance, outstanding rent, then these are covered in representative personal accounts. So you must bifurcate properly that under which different head of personal account the given entry should come, so that it is easy for you to journalize the transactions in the books of accounts in a proper way. So in personal accounts, these are the most important three things. All these things will be covered in personal account. And therefore, in definition of personal accounts, it is clearly state that this account represents a person and a group of person to whom business deals. Now, the next important thing is impersonal accounts. Now in impersonal accounts, there are mainly two accounts. One is real account and second is nominal account. Today we discuss only about real account. Now, what is mean by real account? In real account, it represents assets and properties owned by the business. Now, this is the most important thing: assets and properties owned by the business. Different types of assets are owned by the businessman, like land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, computer, which are usable in the business. Without these assets, a businessman can't run the business properly, and therefore, these all assets and properties are covered under real account head. Means real account is normally concerned with the assets and properties of the business. Here the word is most important, of the business, means those properties which are related with the business. Only that properties and that assets are covered under real account. Personal properties are not covered in this head. Now in real account, again there are two things: tangible real account and intangible real account. Tangible real account. Now what is tangible real account? The word tangible means the assets and properties which can be seen, touch and felt. म्हणजे ज्या ॲसेट्स आपण बघू शकतो, त्यांना टच करू शकतो, त्या आहे असं आपल्याला जाणवतं, अशा ॲसेट्सला आपण म्हणतो टँजिबल ॲसेट्स. फॉर एक्झाम्पल मशिनरी अकाउंट. मशिनरीला आपण बघू शकतो, त्याला टच करू शकतो, मशिनरी इथे आहे असं आपल्याला जाणवतं, म्हणून मशिनरी ही आली टँजिबल रिअल अकाउंट, ही आली टँजिबल ॲसेट्स. सेकंड एक्झाम्पल त्यांनी दिलेलं आहे मोटर कार अकाउंट. तसंच बिझनेस मध्ये ज्या ज्या ॲसेट्स वापरल्या जातात, मग एसी सुद्धा त्याच्यात येईल, फर्निचर सुद्धा येईल. These all are the assets which can be seen, we touch and we felt that the assets are there. So all these assets will come under the heading of tangible real account. And all assets must have a debit balance. What is debit and what is credit, that concept we will discuss further in our next lecture. But here you must know one properly thing, that all assets have a debit balance. Now the most important thing, tangible and intangible. Now second thing is intangible assets, which are already discussed with you, that in intangible real account, one thing, goodwill. Detailed information of goodwill will be given in our first lecture. So goodwill, patent, copyrights are these accounts which are intangible. Now the important thing is, what is intangible assets? So intangible real account means assets which cannot be seen. See the difference? Which cannot be seen, touched or felt, but they can be measured in terms of money. ज्या ॲसेट आपल्याला डोळ्यांनी दिसत नाही, ज्यांना आपण टच करू शकत नाही, स्पर्श करू शकत नाही, ज्या आहेत की नाही हे समजत नाही, पण ज्यांचं मनीमध्ये कन्व्हर्जन होऊ शकतं, अशा सगळ्या ॲसेट्सला आपण म्हणतो इनटँजिबल ॲसेट्स. तसं तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी बागबान पिक्चर बघितला असेल. या बागबान पिक्चर मध्ये अमिताभ बच्चनला सुरुवातीला एक चेक मिळतो 10 लाखाचा. तेव्हा तो विचार करतो, अरे च्या, हे कुठून आले? मग हे जे पैसे मिळालेले त्यांना, हे त्याने जे बुक छापलेलं होतं त्याच्या अगेन्स्ट त्याला हे पैसे मिळत आहे. मग आता ते कसे आले, कुठून आले, हे आपल्याला काहीच आपण बघू शकत नाही, ते टच करू शकत नाही. पण ते मेजरमेंट होतं इन टर्म्स ऑफ मनी, की हे पैसे आलेत, पैशांच्या स्वरूपात ते मिळाले. आणि म्हणून त्याला म्हणतात पेटेंट. एक प्रकारचं पेटेंट त्याला मिळालं, की त्या पेटेंटच्या बदल्यात त्याला पैसे मिळत आहे. त्याच पद्धतीने एखादा बिझनेसमॅन जो बिझनेस करताना आपल्या नावाचं लौकिक करतो, त्याला आपण म्हणतो गुडविल. त्या गुडविलचे सुद्धा जेव्हा तो ते बिझनेस त्याच नावाने विकेल, तेव्हा त्या गुडविलचे सुद्धा पैसे त्याला मिळतात. कारण त्याला त्यासाठी मार्केटिंग करण्याची गरज राहत नाही. ऑलरेडी त्या ब्रँडचं, त्या नावाचं मार्केटिंग झालेलं आहे. मग ते मार्केटिंग कसं झालेलं आहे ते आपण बघू शकत नाही, त्याला आपण टच करू शकत नाही. पण पैशांच्या स्वरूपात ते निश्चित पद्धतीने आपल्याला मोजता येतं. सो these are called intangible real assets. And therefore the definition is given. Real assets means which cannot be seen, touched or felt, but they can be measured in terms of money. And in these intangible assets, mostly there are four types of assets are covered, which is called goodwill account, patents account, trademark account, and copyright account. So intangible assets are also assets which are shown on the asset side of balance sheet. And these assets, I say all the assets have a debit balance. Then that assets may be tangible assets or maybe intangible assets. The asset word is there, and therefore all assets will covered under the head, and therefore they are shown on debit side of balance sheet. So today we have discussed two things: personal account. In personal account there are three different accounts, and second is real account. In real account there are two different things: tangible and intangible. So whenever you have asked a question that in the following assets bifurcate which are tangible and which are intangible assets, then you must bifurcate each and everything properly. Now the third thing, which is nominal account, that nominal account we will discuss in our next lecture. Up to then, goodbye.